What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm going over whip things to know. With that being said, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, as usual, from the normal raid, two couple good whips you can get are the one from the south. It's called Reaper's Torrent. That's really good because it gives 3 different stats. So vitality, agility, and dex. So the other one is from the east. It's called Sacred Inferno. That one is okay. It's only given vitality and agility. That's pretty much it. So other than that, not so much. So, those two are. It's pretty decent. If you want to use whip early in the game. Other than that, the extreme raid version, the 4-star one, is what you'll be looking for. It is really good. The one gives obviously 4 stats, and the other recommendations, not so much. Maybe strength and dex, just get a little bit more accuracy. Other than that, yeah. Until you can get the one that from the level 400 Divine Beast, which is the best whip you can get in the entire game at the moment. So this whip is really good. I'm glad they actually dropped from the plant, because it'll be so much easier to farm her than farming anybody else. So it is definitely a good whip to pick it up if you can. Definitely, like you'll be looking for high attacks. I think the attack goes up to. Let me see. I think the attack goes up to like maybe 90s. I don't remember the base attack somewhere, but like the other stats, 60 strength, maybe base 50 vitality. I'm not sure, and then 68 dex. I don't know, somewhere there. But like, yeah, those are the max stats you'll be looking for. But the thing is, if you can get somewhere close or within the range, plus minus 10 to 15, it's also really good. They're usable for sure. The whip does have special accuracy, then again, it's not really much to use whip for. I'm not gonna use it for debuffer. That's about it. Other than that, yeah, crit, it's okay. It can go up pretty high, so which is good. It does have a few different passives, a couple different passives, and Fireball Plus as a combat skill on there. Accuracy wise, like I say, if you have super high dex, you don't have to worry about that too much. So since the whip gives you so much dex, it's really good. But mainly you want to focus on the attack, the dex, and the strength if it's possible. Vitality, get what you can. Other than that, yeah. Okay, so there are 8 sword skills as usual for pretty much all the weapons, except the bow. So the good ones, the whips has a lot of good sword skill. Again, you don't have to worry too much about which skill it's good, which is not. Most of them are really good. Tact, I like to use that a lot. It's quick and it's really easy to connect to 4-4. Swing whip is good if you want to use that for hazarding, because it is a lot of hits. Roaring Beast is good as well. That can be DPS or using it for hazarding. I used to use that for DPS, but it's too slow. I changed it. There's even better combination for the whip now. So catch move, and not so much. It's fun, but you still need catch move to get to some places. So it's actually a good move that's outside the combat. Other than that, yeah, turnover, definitely one of the best DPS for the whip. It is my go-to DPS. Drop crash, those two I use for the combinations. So this is like my go-to. Drop crash and turnover. Any whip DPS users will most likely use those two. Like I said, I use that quite a bit now. Since the Roaring Beast is not as fast, it's too slow. Other than that, Sonic, it's okay, but you have to hold it down to press the button to get to level 4. Dance of Madness, this is the only EX skill that I consider not really, I don't really use this one, because first of all, it is kind of hard to do skill connect, and it does take a long time. For people who just want to use whip for fun and use the EX, go ahead. It's fine. Like I say, it's your choice. But the thing is, the customization, the agility and vitality as usual, it is very hard to get vitality on the whip. So other than that, yeah, feel free to use the EX if you want to, but in my case, I wouldn't be using it. So other than that, yeah, I'm gonna keep explaining the customizations. Moving on to customization, like I said, turnover will be my go-to. Turnover is easy to customize, much easier to customize than the EX skill. This is practically my EX skill because this thing hits really hard. So 140% dex. Dex is actually pretty straightforward. Strength and dex together makes a lot better, honestly, rather than vitality and something. So yes, it does take some vitality, but the portion of vitality, it's not as much as needed, because 60%, even if you put a lot of vitality on, it's still not gonna be matter too much. That's why if you can get as much from the whip itself, it will help quite a bit. Other than that, like I say, the clothes, XT steel armor, etc. Anything gives strength and dex, you can use that pretty much for turnover. It works perfectly fine. I mean, if you want to use vitality and dex, it's okay, try it. It's not as bad, but it's just not as powerful as strength and dex combined. Abyssal Ring will be the perfect combination for it. Double Abyssal Ring, it's really good. Roaring Beast, I use that for the hazard, but like I say, that I set up for the divine. That's why I don't use hazard here. By this point, you'll probably know how to set it up. By like I say, when I mentioned hazard, just need a hazard incarnation. If you want more faster, put the passive Unfreezing Spirit on. If you don't have it, use the old school one, level the 1.0 version, with the White Mist armor and the passive with that incarnation in it. That's why, So I'm gonna go through that pretty quick now, just the hazard, because by this time, like I said, you should be getting familiar to, without me explaining too much, what the hazard skills are. So unless there's new stuff in the future, then I won't be changing it anytime sooner. So using it from 3 to 4, or hazard incarnation with a passive for hazarding. So those are the pretty much two things you'll ever gonna see most of the time. Other than that, there's not much to change. Drop crash is really good. 150% strength, not 50% dex. That's exactly like the turnover, except there's no vitality. So you'll be running the same for that. This whip is basically made for DPS build, not really for anything else. That's my most of the stuff that I make are pretty much kill things, efficient and fast. So that's the whole point of making for me making builds. Some people might do builds differently for fun and etc. That's okay, Like I said, for this purpose, I'll be just talking about my builds. The Roaring Beast, you can use that for DPS if you really want to, but it's kind of slow. Drop crash and turnover, it's fast. So that's why you can dish out the DPS much faster than anything else in the combination. So that's why I changed it, from drop crash instead of Roaring Beast. How good is the whip in this game? Let me tell you how good is the whip. This is actually excited. Whip is actually super powerful. It is probably the third most powerful weapon in this game right now. I mean, if we get even better whips, it probably will stay there. So here's the list, like dual wield, spear, and whip. So whip is a little bit underneath of spear, but the thing is, it's not by much. Like spear definitely hits a lot more, no question about it, but whip can hit just as much. The only 3 weapon can kill the tapir, or if you refer to the castle, the level 400 divine beasts, are these 3 weapons. So that's just how powerful they are right now. So like I said, I still can't do it. It's too hard. Like I said, with a whip, it's really hard. Something is not right. Like I said, I saw people did it, so it was crazy though. But like I said, the whip itself is very powerful. You want to make sure that you get a like good attack, good strength, good dex. Those are the three things you're really looking for if you want really good whip. Other than that, whip is super quick. Like combinations, you get massive DPS and fast. So that's what makes whip powerful. It's the speed, how fast it hits, and how, you know, how much damage it does. That's just crazy. Like I said, anytime you have speed and damage, they're probably the best weapons. So in terms of killing machines, so other than that, whip doesn't miss too much. You don't have to worry about accuracy too much. So much accuracy, it's crazy. Strength is good, attack is good, so not much to say about whip. It's just powerful. Other than that, like the other thing I think I forgot to mention is that if you fatalize the enemy, and then you can just use the drop crash to down it. This is actually a good down skill for the final hit to down it. So you can literally start to do your sword skills, then down it. By the time you get to the drop crash, then you can keep going. Then you don't have to worry about pressing X, you know, 3 times. Just 2 times and then down it with a sword skill. That would be fine. Other than that, yeah, whip, not much to say. It is extremely powerful right now. So the 3 DPS, like I say, the 3 DPS weapons right now: dual wield, spear, and whip. That's just how powerful the whip is. And I really like whip. It's actually really fun, you know. So yeah, I definitely encourage people to try it out if you haven't, because you know it's not the look what makes that powerful. It's really the weapon itself, you know, like how you use it and stuff. So yeah, like I say, don't underestimate too much about other weapons. They're just as powerful, you know. But in terms of in terms of anything else, whip is up there pretty much. So at the moment, yeah. Alright people, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time come back, I'll have a different weapon. Until next time.